Father John Hughes, and we are on month 7 of our summary of our spirituality formation booklet called Guided by the Holy Angels. This month is the first month of the second volume. The second volume covers the last 6 months of our year-long formation program, and this month deals with a way of holiness with the angels. This month talks about 2 things. Why the work of the holy angels' spirituality is important for the church and for the world today. And secondly, what does the formation of the members of the work of holy angels consist in? What does it consist in principally? So this is a short summary. It should be maybe a little bit of a shorter conference. But let's start then with why is the work of the holy angels important for the world today, for the church today? Well, the fundamental problem of our day is a crisis of faith. Now, why can we say this? Well, St. John Paul II coined the phrase culture of death many years ago. And this culture of death is very prevalent in our Western culture today, in Europe, United States, Canada. And this culture of death, abortion, euthanasia, assisted suicide, causing the direct death of human life, and in the case of abortion, the most innocent and new of human life, unborn babies. But this direct cause of death of human life, why does it take place? Well, because of a crisis of faith. I'd like to explain that a little bit. Okay, if you no longer believe in God, and this world is all there is, then you're going to want to enjoy this world as much as possible. You're going to want to do everything that you can to get the most out of it. And whatever's going to prevent you from that needs to be done away with. So, if a hedonistic culture develops, and it has in the Western culture, in the Western societies, if this hedonistic culture develops, well, what does that mean? It means seeking all the pleasure you can, sexual pleasure, eating, drinking. Now, if I am wanting to enjoy sexual pleasure to the highest amount, and my girlfriend gets pregnant, what am I going to want to do? Well, I'm not going to want to make a sacrifice to bring up this child, so we're going to have an abortion. And why? Because we don't have any faith in God. If I am sick, and I can no longer live life to the fullness, I can no longer enjoy it, then I'm going to want to kill myself through assisted suicide. Or the society is going to want to kill me by means of euthanasia, because since I'm no longer a productive member of society, I can no longer produce. I'm just using up valuable resources that healthy people can take advantage of. And since I'm using up these resources as a sick person, it's better for me to be killed so that other people can enjoy the resources that I'm using up. And so because of this lack of faith, it leads necessarily to a culture of death. Abortion, euthanasia, and of course assisted suicide. Just a couple, three manifestations of this culture of death. And so that's why the work of the holy angels is important, to increase the faith, to turn the world back to God through conversion and faith. So the angels help men to live their faith better, with greater strength and conviction. The angels are very capable of leading man to holiness. And the work of the holy angels is an association that's equipped to train its members to grow in holiness. And of course, what does the world need today? Well, the world needs saints to bring Jesus to the culture of death, and also to bring the members of society to Jesus. Now, what are the fundamental elements of the work of the holy angels? Okay, well, God has bestowed, He's given to the Opus Angelorum, work of the holy angels, 4 fundamental directions. And God draws the members of the work of the holy angels back to Him through these 4 fundamental directions. And these 4 fundamental directions are adoration, contemplation, expiation, and mission. It is through these 4 fundamental directions that the members of the work of the holy angels can grow in holiness and help to spread holiness by showing Jesus to others and bringing others to Jesus. And these 4 fundamental directions, they presuppose a certain attitude towards God and to prayer. And the basic task of the work of the holy angels is to make these 4 fundamental directions a part of our lives, to make us, kind of live and breathe, adoration, contemplation, expiation, and mission. It's a beautiful way of life. It's a very fulfilling way of life. And it's something that the work of the holy angels has to share with the church and with the world. So, how are OA members formed? Well, OA members are formed to have a loving reverence of God, and also a love for silence or recollection. And silence and recollection are so important for prayer, so important for adoration, contemplation. Also, expiation and mission, which of course expiation enters into adoration too. But at any rate, OA members are formed to have this loving reverence for God and this love for prayer and silence. OA members, work of the holy angels members, are formed to fight with the angels against sin and the evil one, against demons. Incidentally, I keep saying OA. Well, OA is an acronym for Opus Angelorum. Opus Angelorum is the Latin for work of the holy angels. If anyone is a little confused because I say the work of the holy angels in OA, or OA and then the work of the holy angels, that's why I'm doing it. So, work of the holy angels members are also formed into to love is prayer, adoration, contemplation. Now, what is the principal form of adoration? Well, we can say the Holy Mass. Work of the holy angel members are formed to have a love for the Holy Mass and Eucharistic adoration, as well as the cross. Okay, but if possible, work of the holy angels members are encouraged to go to Mass every day, and at least to go to Mass as much as they can, and also to visit the Blessed Sacrament as often as they can, and do adoration as often as they can. If it's something that maybe some of the older members can do every day, then they are encouraged to do it. But even if they can't, for instance, go to Mass every day or go to adoration every day, then they're encouraged to visit the Blessed Sacrament as much as possible. And then, of course, develop an intimate prayer life with God in their homes, maybe in a room with a candle and a holy image of Jesus, of the Blessed Mother, or one of the saints. So love for prayer, for adoration and contemplation, especially the Holy Mass. Okay. So, also, work of the holy angel members are formed to not fear sacrifices. And again, when we think of sacrifices, we want to think of being able to do things that a mother would do. A mother, I mentioned in the last conference, the first one up in the morning, the last one to go to bed at night, because she's always making sacrifices for her family. Well, that's what OA members want to be able to do. They want to be ready to be able to make sacrifices, especially in the sense of being able to leave our comfort zones. Many times people are interested in spiritual movements, but then when it comes to committing themselves to it, they don't want to do it because it can make them leave their comfort zones. But one of the things that we find when we leave our comfort zones is that it's not that uncomfortable anyways, and the more we leave it, the less uncomfortable it becomes until it becomes a part of us, and then we have no more comfort zone. We can do anything. We have a great freedom to go and to do and to even to suffer whatever it is God wants. So the OA members, Work of the Holy Angels members, are formed to not fear sacrifices. OA members, Work of the Holy Angel members, are formed to support priests. They support priests through prayer, sacrifices, but also they are formed to have a reverence and respect for priests, and maybe even a certain pity for priests, because they want to avoid criticism of priests and to do what they can to prevent others from criticizing priests. And that can be difficult sometimes, because sometimes we priests can do things that make it very easy for people to criticize us. But nonetheless, Work of the Holy Angel members, they're formed to avoid criticizing priests themselves and to do what they can to prevent others from criticizing priests. Work of the Holy Angels members are formed to have a loving fidelity towards the Holy Father, the Holy Catholic Church, her doctrine, and faith and morals, and the spiritual tradition of the Church. All of these things are powerful means to grow in holiness, and so Work of the Holy Angel members want to have a loving respect for all of these things and a fidelity towards them. And of course, Work of the Holy Angel members are formed to have a loving relationship towards our Blessed Mother, a special love for our Blessed Mother, a special love for Mary. And maybe should have been mentioned first, Work of the Holy Angel members are formed to listen for the voice of their Holy Angel, to hear the voice of the Holy Angel, and to obey the voice of the Holy Angel. Holy members also are formed to promote and protect material creation. We call this repatriation, and it's a certain love for nature, planting trees, taking care of gardens, all these kind of things. Just doing everything you can, for instance, also to try to learn how to use nature and also develop nature by planting trees without chemicals, trying to do it naturally. Now that can be very difficult to do, so it's not like we have a ban on using chemicals, but insofar as we can cultivate a repatriation of nature without chemicals, we try to do that. Okay, so this is month 7, a way of holiness with the Holy Angels. This second volume in the next 4 months, in the 4 conferences, we are going to be talking about then these 4 fundamental directions. Well, thank you for joining me for this month 7 in our summary of a spiritual formation book guided by the Holy Angels. God bless you.